Aptera. Never charge your electric car again. Aptera is a car that you never have to charge. Sounds unreal, but it is now possible. There are many EVs available, but there's a revolution coming. A revolution that will change everything. A car that runs on solar energy, and you will never have to charge it. The solar-powered electric vehicle, Aptera. Find out the details of the revolutionary vehicle created by Aptera Motors, and why you may never have to charge again. The idea of a solar car is not something that is very new. As a matter of fact, the concept of a solar car was introduced by General Motors in the 1950s with their experimental Sunmobile. This means the idea has been around for more than 70 years. The technology of the time was not well developed, so costs were high. As a result, General Motors only made a 15-inch model. The model had 8 solar cells on the hood. This model is alleged to have worked and was able to drive across a stage. Unfortunately, solar technology made no significant progress for a couple decades. As a result, no companies tried to forward the technology of a solar-powered electric vehicle for a long while. In 2005, Aptera Motors formed as a company. They came up with the concept of a solar car. Steve Fambro was the original founder, and the company was initially called Accelerated Composites. Fambro partnered with a man named Chris Anthony. Anthony had experience in the boat-building business, so was knowledgeable about electric drivetrains. The company name was changed to Aptera Motors, and together, they made the first prototype. It was a 3-wheeled car that looked like old sci-fi. Since this technology was ahead of its time, there were many funding issues. So in 2011, Aptera Motors reached its inevitable doom and had to be dissolved. You can say that they were a little too early. But as Elon Musk said, if something means so much to you, then you try doing it. Doesn't matter the outcome. In 2019, the company was re-established by the founders, Steve Fambro and Chris Anthony. They have since moved forward with developing a solar-powered electric vehicle. Right now, they sure are looking pretty strong. Aptera Motors definitely looks like a company that will change the car industry for the better. They are laying down the groundwork for the first solar-powered car to be mass-produced. Of course, we know the most essential part of a solar car. It's a solar panel, right? That is the first thing we will talk about. They use monocrystalline cells. However, Aptera solar power is a powder crystalline cell, so the surface is an iridescent blue that changes color as you move in different directions. The cool part is that it is held together on the back by a copper matrix, so if you break a cell or get a micro crack on it, you won't lose any of the cell's capacity. Even if it's fractured or entirely shattered, a broken or completely shattered cell will probably provide approximately 95% of the power of a regular cell with no damage. They want these solar packages to last at least 10 years for long-term profitability. It's the best way to get the maximum profit from this car. The manufacturing process might put a strain on the cell. Therefore, having a cell that is forgiving in this regard is beneficial. In terms of the solar package, every Aptera comes with a standard dash and roof solar, with the hood or rear hatch as options. For an extra $900, you may increase the daily solar recharge from 16 to 40 miles per day. It is a really reasonable deal. So, if you are someone interested in buying this first ever solar car, I suggest you go with the extra $900. But let me tell you, if you go with the upgrade package, the whole rear glass will be covered with a solar panel, and you would lose a little visibility. According to Aptera, it's not an issue as they have already thought about it and made a vision system that would help you with the loss of visibility. A completely upgraded Aptera has a solar array of 700 watts, which is quite outstanding. So 2 350-watt panels would be required, and those are huge. However, keep in mind that you'll never obtain 700 watts of energy because the cells follow the curve of the car's body, and different cells will receive different amounts of sunlight throughout the day. The solar panels aren't the entire tale, because if we compare it to a Tesla Model 3 with the same degree of solar production, we'd be talking about a distance of 12 miles. So, how does Aptera manage to travel 40 miles? Good question. The answer is because it was made in Hogwarts. Just kidding. If you believe that, you need to watch less Harry Potter. I still don't know how brooms fly in that movie. Please, don't tell me it's magic. Well, we will have this debate some other day. Right now, let's get back to the topic at hand. How does Aptera get 40 miles? The answer is the design of the car. When you look at the car, it appears to be something from the future. When it was first presented, the Aptera was so remarkable that it was even seen on the set of a Star Trek film in 2009. This isn't your average family station wagon. No, instead, everything has been done to attain the lightest weight and lowest drag coefficient feasible. The drag was decreased to 0.13 thanks to its wind-cheating teardrop form and fully faired-in wheels. To put this in perspective, a Cadillac Escalade has a drag coefficient of 0.37, a Toyota Camry has a drag coefficient of 0.27, and a Tesla Model S Plaid has a drag coefficient of 0.208. When you look at these numbers, you get a perspective of how low 0.13 is. The second thing that is helping this car is the weight of the car. It is just 2,000 pounds, and the substance used in making the car is also 7 times stronger than steel and more flexible. This gives the car an advantage over other cars in the competition because of its weight and smooth aerodynamic form. This car is up to 4 times more efficient than normal electric sedans. This car only has 3 wheels. You might be thinking that it would be a problem, but Aptera distributed the weight so evenly that you won't be able to feel the difference. The car is also spacious, even though it is just a 2-seater. According to the company, the car is so spacious that you can even recline the seats and sleep on it. Sounds amazing, right? The car has a bit of juice. It can go from 0 to 60 miles in just 3.5 seconds. It looks pretty fast for such a compact car, right? It is actually faster than a 2017 Aston Martin. It must be the aerodynamic design combined with the light weight. There is also a driver assist feature in the higher-end variants of the car. At this point in time, there is still not much information available about the driver assist features. So the question becomes what to do if there's a long run of cloudy days with barely any sun. Well, Aptera hopes that the day when this car runs out of energy should not come. But if that happens, you can charge this car like a regular EV. The Aptera has a battery pack that can be charged like an EV. According to the firm, it earns roughly 10 miles per kilowatt hour. Their battery packs come in 25, 40, 60, and 100 kilowatt hours. Because it can go 10 miles per kilowatt hour, even a typical wall plug you use for your televisions and computers can add up to 15 miles per hour. If you plug it in all night, you'll have 120 miles by 8 a.m. You can hire an electrician to install a level 2 fast charger, but you aren't required to. Increasing the number of kilowatt hours per dollar spent solves a slew of issues. The Aptera can obtain up to 1,000 miles between charging the electric battery and using solar energy. This is a record breaker for the electric vehicle industry. The vehicle promises to be a huge win for the environment. It will help move away from fossil fuels, which is always a good thing. However, assisting EV owners in becoming less dependent on grid electricity might be a win-win situation for both the corporation and the consumers. Their website shows that if you live in New England or even Rome, Italy, and drive 40 miles a day, you will need to charge the battery less than 6 times a year. That fact, and the ability to drive in the all-wheel drive vehicle in temperatures between 25 degrees below Fahrenheit and 125 degrees Fahrenheit using vectorized torque control, means this car can drive in virtually any part of the world. Now the last question that you guys might have is when will it be released? And what would be the price of the car? You can go on the website now to reserve your car. Production is said to start at the end of 2022. The price of the vehicle is targeted to be $25,900 and $49,000. Delivery will happen sometime between 2023 and 2024. Given the price of gas and the way the economy is going, this could be a bargain, even at the high end. Let's just wait and watch how this car revolutionizes the industry.